was that? What? What's that sound? Where? It's aliens and they're living in your town. Damn. They have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town.
Hello, weirdos out there in Weirdo Land. How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Good. Calm down, everyone. Don't talk all at once.
I didn't want to step on anyone's toes.
Why start today?
That's true.
Vicky, how are you?
I'm terrific.
Beckett, everyone, roll call. Everyone's here.
Doing well.
Denny's.
Denny's is here. So are you guys getting excited for Halloween?
Yeah.
Always.
You already got your costume on, right?
I do have the Dolphins cheerleader outfit on right now. I'm going to be going as I think I'm going to be a cheerleading zombie all Halloween.
It looks like it's custom. It actually looks like it's tailored. It fits you really well.
Well, thank you, Beckett. I was feeling a little insecure. I felt like I was retaining water in my pouch area. But thank you. I appreciate the kind words. So Halloween, real quick, let's take a vote around the room. Worst candy of all time, and Vicky.
Those stupid little peanut butter things in the black and orange wrappers.
Oh, yeah, those are rough.
That's a top
like
three.
Peanut butter
Yeah.
toffee or whatever they are. Or
Yeah,
what are
whatever.
they,
I mean, back in
taffy?
the 70s, a whole bag cost $1.
Ugh.
I mean, that's like bottom of the barrel.
That's toffee. Is that what that is?
It's
I don't know,
Taffy.
yeah,
Taffy.
it was like a peanut butter flavor. It was
Oh,
disgusting.
it is.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Gross. Yes, Becky, what do you got? Vicky's got a good answer.
Do you remember those apples that weren't caramel apples? Because I love caramel apples, but they had the hard candy coating on it. The apples with the hard candy coating.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
called candied
apples.
Candied apples. Those were the worst things I've ever had. And then people were supposedly putting razor blades in them, and you couldn't eat them anyways.
Well, Beckett is right on that. Something happened back, I think, in 1983, where somebody started putting razor blades and all kind of sharp, poisonous things in candy, and that was the whole thing. Getting my candy, bringing it back to my house, and then my mom always said, no, I gotta check that shit for razor blades, and I always felt like she would say that shit just to get my good candy, because she was a candy fiend.
You didn't like my answer until I said the razor blade, right?
I do.
Candied apples.
There goes the speaker. Yeah,
I
but
actually have a new tactic now. When I laugh, I lean back.
that's good. You're playing the microphone.
That's microphone etiquette.
That's very good. In the movie Halloween 2, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but there's a part where the kid's walking in to the hospital with the mom. He's got a bloody tongue. It's because he ate a razor blade apple. Were you old enough or young enough to remember that?
Oh, yeah, that was still a rumor when I was Halloweening as well. I just didn't give a shit. Like, I just still went out and did it.
Yeah, I was not allowed to go trick-or-treating with my friends until about age 14. I had a crush on a girl named Lisa. I said, Mom, you got to let me go. My friends are knocking on the door. Come on, can you go? I said, Mom, please, you're not going. Go, Mom, please, you're not going. Mom, I really like this girl, Lisa. She let me go.
Oh, that's all it took.
That's all it took was a little bitching and moaning from Jaybird.
I started trick-or-treating, like, I have memories, like, we went out in troves in, like, bike groups in our costumes at probably, like, age, like, 7 and 8, like, real young.
Yeah, we never had that. I grew up in Lake Park. If you don't know where Lake Park is at, Google it. It was kind of creepy back in the 80s and early 90s.
Where's Lake Park?
What? Get the hell out of my living room.
Wait, is that right by me? Is that in West Palm?
Yeah, it's right down the street from here. It's not that far
It's
from
right
here.
up the road.
For some reason, I thought you were from. Why are you a Braves fan?
Because everybody was a Braves fan that lived down here pretty much because of TBS and Municipal Stadium.
Got it. Okay.
So we got a lot to cover tonight. A lot of good stuff. I kind of want to see where you guys' comfort zone's at tonight.
All right.
Let's explore a little bit of our improv skills tonight.
You're looking to get weird.
Let's get, Vicky does not look happy.
I already got the eye roll going.
Did you see this story, Vicky? I want to get your opinion. Based out of Massachusetts, the Talking Board Historical Society has broken the world record with the largest Ouija board ever. Did you see this?
Yeah, I think I briefly actually was scrolling through and I saw it.
It's
on
massive.
Facebook.
It's
Yeah.
massive. Now, here's my question. If you bring this large Ouija board, can you conjure up some spirits even though it's that big and that goofy?
I mean, anytime you're trying to communicate like that, yeah, you can do it. Is that the one where they had like the bench that looks like the planchette or whatever it's called, and then you like roll it?
It was massive. It
Yeah.
was the biggest Ouija board ever. I tell you what, if there was one time I did a Ouija board and I kept getting this guy coming through named AZ. Does that mean anything to you? Anything weird?
You really want me to school you on it, or?
Well, yes.
Well, there people in the field who believe that you summon more of something from a demonic level. There's one that always comes through. He seems to be in charge of the communication when it comes to Ouijas, and his name has 2 Z's in it.
So,
But I wouldn't say his name.
You would not say his name?
No.
Because, okay.
You don't call their name.
Gotcha.
But actually, somebody in our chat, it was either our chat or it was in KVJ chat, mentioned and they mentioned it in connection to the Ouija board, and they wrote the name in there.
Was it the one I just said?
No,
Oh,
but
different
it
one.
had the 2 Z's in it, though.
Is it the name for devil that starts with a B?
Beckett, you're dancing around a game. I don't know if you want to play.
Isn't that the one from the Queen song, right?
Can I say it, Vicky?
Yeah, it's not the right one. Go ahead.
Bibzabub.
Yeah.
Beelzebub.
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 Yeah.
Beelzebub. And then I think the one, I'm not going to say it, but I think I know which one that.
What's the rhyme with? Oh, don't say it.
Well, I mean, does it start with an A?
It's like Beetlejuice in here.
And then, I don't
So
want to say
all
it.
I know is that something came into, and it all depends on who was working the Ouija board. I thought at the time the person working the Ouija board with me was trustworthy. Looking back, I don't know if they were trying to mess around, but it had said it was speaking with my brother. Now, my brother's alive, and then it said that my brother was going to die in an accident. That's what it was spelling out on the Ouija board. Now, again, if you've got somebody in the group trying to control some
Right.
things, how accurate could it be?
Right. And you never know. I mean, it's only like if you all take your hands off of it and that thing moves on its own,
Exactly.
then you know something else is doing the board.
And it never did that.
Right.
So I wonder, are we sure we're on live right now? We're good on YouTube? Beautiful. I have a terrible virus. I still have that horrible virus in my computer.
I think you keep getting it.
It's from porn, and I don't watch porn on this thing. I swear to you, I know it sounds like I didn't do it. I've got some kind of bullshit porn thing on my Mac. I never watch porn on my Mac. I don't know what's going on, Beckett. I figured you would understand about porn problems.
Yeah, but you're right. No one watches porn on their desktops anymore. It's all on their phone.
Oh my gosh, no way. Watching something all of a sudden, oh, this is so hot. Bring. Text message from my dad. It's happened before. So it kind of kills the mood, Denny.
You can do not disturb.
I bet you fight through it. If I had to guess.
if you know your boy.
Yeah.
Send straight to voicemail.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, nothing that, throws you off while you're in the throes of passion if I sing a text message from your dad.
Where are the keys?
Got this email, Vicky. Hello, weird whatever. I am listening to a podcast called Coast to Coast AM Radio. Have you guys ever heard of that? That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah.
A lady just called and said she was diagnosed with stigmat or
Stigmata.
Stigmata.
So okay, so is it stigma and
Yeah.
okay, and then she has to wear bandages over the wounds on her hands. I found this to be very interesting. What you guys think about this? And then it says stigmata. Marks resembling the wounds of the crucified body of Christ, said to be supernaturally impressed on the bodies of certain persons, especially nuns, stuff like that.
Right. And they tend to randomly appear. Like they might disappear for a little bit and randomly appear in different spots.
Now, is that demonic stuff we're talking about, or could that be a ghost as well?
It's a very unusual phenomena, and I've never really delved too much into it. I would say, to me, it reminds me of something that's a mocking of the Trinity or, something religious. And that's why it would appear specifically on religious people and be such a scar. Some people think it's actually the opposite. They think it's a true sign of religion and things like that. So I guess it depends on which side of the fence you're on.
It's a phenomenal movie, Patricia Arquette.
Yeah, it's
She
a
was-
creepy
Stigmata,
one.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on all this stigmata talk, Beckett?
It's interesting. Supposedly, like the most holiest of people, like throughout history, like the Vatican has like verified miracles and verified signs of stigmata. Like people they'll get one, maybe
Of the signs.
maybe of the signs. But it's interesting. She said hand because I think I went to Catholic school. One of the things that I learned about stigmata is that supposedly it's not historically accurate that people were crucified through the hand. They were
It'd be
crucified
through the wrist.
Through the
oh
wrist.
gosh,
Yeah.
that would be worse, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but like if you put a nail through your hand, you would just come right down.
All right. God.
If you put it through your eyeball, your hand will just
So
slide.
point being, if it's a true stigmata, it should be coming through your wrist, technically, according. I mean, who knows? But
And plus, one of them's fatal, isn't it?
The wrist one probably.
one
the
of them,
javelin to the
one of
side.
them's the spear through the side.
Wow, this is,
You don't want that one.
That one kills you, I think.
My goodness, Vicky, you okay with all this? I mean, this
Denise
is
and I could start our own Wikipedia.
Well, why don't you guys get out there? You guys are so cool. Why don't you guys start your own little podcast? Me and Vicky will do our own.
This is just
shit.
we're just a tennis match, back and forth.
You guys can outwit each other. Very good, very good stuff. Though, keep sending the emails to us. We are getting a ton of emails from people. Please have patience with us if we don't get to you, but keep them coming. Let's go ahead and say hello to the chat room. Got Haunted Beard Dan in the chat room. What up,
Nice.
Haunted Beard? We got Megan, Fabian. I see Brittany in there. I see a bunch of people. I see your wife, Jen Durr, probably going to stir some shit up in the chat room.
Talking trash.
I do want to talk about, I'm getting a lot of emails about some of the stuff where these shooter drills at schools, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but
Right.
the emails I'm getting are where teachers and students don't know about these shooting drills that are going on. Now, you being the educator, Vicky, do you ever have to go through that stuff?
We do drills, but since all of the tragedies, especially since Stoneman Douglas, we always have advance notice unless it's a true code red. We don't get notice if there's somebody escaped in the neighborhood and we need to go on lockdown. We just simply go on lockdown. We have no idea that if it's a drill or if it's for real. And sometimes we do have to go into them immediately because we've been notified that we need to lock the school down. But if we're practicing them, we know ahead of time. The kids are told, they are prepared by the teachers. First we go into a code yellow and then we go into the code red.
So why am I getting emails from people that what's going on at their school is they're not getting any notice? Some teachers don't even know. The students don't know it's a drill until after.
Right.
I am so against this. I think that's terrible.
Well, like I said, I mean, as far as our policy at our school, we are always told ahead of time so we can, because it's become so traumatic for the kids. Back in the day, we didn't. We had these drills. The teachers didn't know. The kids didn't know. They even had children running around the school screaming, please let me in, please let me in. And they would try to open your door because the point was to train the children in the classroom to not make any noise and to not open a door. So we actually had prop kids running around doing this. They would never do that nowadays.
But did people know those prop kids were prop kids? Everyone knew that they were acting?
No, I mean, the kids didn't know. And for one of my students was actually used for it.
You're like,
and all I
oh.
know is like right before the drill, they said, hey, can you send such and such to the front office? I'm like, okay. And then as I hear the kid running around, I'm like, oh, that's such and such. That's just my kid doing it.
Sometimes kids aren't the best actors. They
She was good.
They kind of act like this. Kind of like
No, she was good.
Every
She was good.
Every Disney show I ever watched, every kid talks just like this, Dad. Why? Why do they still do that, Denny's?
I don't know. I don't know if it's as common anymore, though.
Real quick, are you against or are you for these shooting drills where nobody knows about them? Can you see the benefit, or do you think it's a horrible idea, Beckett?
No, I think it's a benefit. I mean, she kind of, Vicky just kind of enlightened me because I thought when I first heard about them, they used to make kids for nuclear during the Cold War. They would make kids go under the desks. Like it was an earthquake.
Yeah.
And going under the desk would have no effect whatsoever if there was a nuclear bomb, right?
Duck and cover.
Right, exactly. But they made kids do it. But that's interesting that actually might have some positive effect if there is an active shooter to not open the door or to do certain things. So there are some value in it.
I'm good if everybody is on the same page and they know about it. I'm talking about where you were just a kid in school, you think a real shooter is going on, and you don't know that till after the fact. And those are the emails I'm getting. I am so against that. I think I think you can do the drills and tell everybody and kind of act that way, but to throw them in like it's a real game and they really think. I'm sorry, man. That's gonna cause people.
Oh, they pretend it's a real one.
They pretend it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Nobody knows it's not real. They're going through it like it's a real thing.
Yeah, no, it should be a
I'm
drill.
very surprised if that's Palm Beach County because we have very strict rules about our drills. Like I said, sometimes you have to go into a code red because there may be somebody, in the neighborhood or whatever, and we're told to go immediately into that code red, and we're not told why. Now, every school should also have a safe word. So in other words, when the drill is over or when the real event is over, the principal should be on that PA system and she should say a particular phrase or words to let everyone know she is saying this and it's really over, not somebody telling her, oh, say that it's a green, so everybody comes out of their classroom and let's get them. So everybody should have all of these things in place at their school with their administration.
The problem is what I see is a lot of times that these school shooters are actual students. so they know the drill. Is the problem. They're like, oh, well, everyone's going to get marched out into this yard.
Yes.
Here's the safe word. Like, and that's one of the problems that I see.
Well, the kids don't know the safe word. Only the teachers know.
Only the teachers.
But
Only
still,
teachers
though,
know.
being inside the system, you would possibly know. My whole thing is this. I just don't think you should be scaring kids that badly when there's not an active shooter. That's going to be the question of the day for the people in the chat room and listening to the podcast. Please wait till the video and the podcast is over. We want to put the comments in after the thing has populated and it's up. So the question will be this. Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea to do these drills where the kids do not know at all? Do you think there's a benefit, or do you think that's going to horribly scar them? I'm on the side of I think it's a terrible idea. If you disagree with me, I love it. Put your comment down below. Denny's, any final thoughts? I know you're awfully quiet over there.
Yeah. I do see the benefit to it because it could teach you. I mean, it teaches you under pressure situations. I see the benefit to it. Now, the big problem I do have with it is that I feel like if somebody does like a hero act or something like that, that it could go wrong and somebody could get hurt. So I'd say that's probably your biggest issue.
Well, the other thing, like, I think the potential PTSD type scenario is a problem, but I think, in my opinion, what I'd be more worried about is the little boy that cried wolf. You know, how many times do people hear a fire alarm and they're like, oh yeah, it's another fire alarm, like, and they just like mosey out and don't take it seriously. So they're like, oh yeah, this is probably not, it's another drill. Even though I think that people don't take it seriously. So I think...
So your wife is in the chat room, and she goes, well, she got a point, but I think I'm talking about something different. She says, my third graders have been doing these drills since pre-K. They are totally not phased. They are more upset by the fire drill because it's loud. Here's what the emails I'm getting, it's not that kind of thing. It sounds like a gunman is in the place, banging on the door. They're going in real time. Like it's a legit kind of thing. Now, if that's not true and people are writing me fake emails, that's another thing. I don't think the stuff I'm getting is from Palm Beach County.
Okay.
The good news is we have a lot of people listening all over South Florida and all over Florida. But if anyone knows, if you are in a county or a school where they are doing drills like that, no one knows about that, let us know. I'd like to know what county that's in.
Well, look what happened in Town Center Mall recently. The janitor supposedly just like busted a balloon. Some guy had like head trauma with staples. And, like there was like, it basically was like animal stampeding. Like it caused like a massive problem.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to be confused what I'm saying. I think drills are great because I'm already seeing some comments. I think the drills are great. I think the drills that nobody knows about is not a good idea.
Totally.
Leave your comment in the section after the video is done. We appreciate that.
Yeah, it's another way to treat someone in the exit aisle of a plane that the plane might be going down.
I've talked about this before. There is this one prank. There's this prank team from another country. They had Paris Hilton on this plane.
So rough.
And they had all of these hidden cameras on her. I mean, the best footage. And they act like the plane's going down and all this shit's going on. And she is freaking out. And I am no Paris Hilton fan. And I absolutely felt terrible for her. She gets on the ground. She didn't know what was going on. There's funny, pranky stuff, and then there's just fucking with somebody till they crack.
Yeah. That one's tough to watch.
It's tough to watch.
I'm gonna have to
Because she thinks she's going to die.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Well, you're watching somebody in
their final moments.
Yeah, if they were going to die, that's how they would react. It was not.
And then they fix the plane. They're like, it was just a prank. You're
you
not
got
going to die.
pranked. And then she's,
And she's like, what?
She's like, what's going on?
Like, she can't even
That was
grasp
a weird
it.
part of our culture when Ashton Kutcher had that punk show, and we were just like going like just more and more shock value.
Well, people always ask us, why don't you guys do any pranks anymore or more stuff or more stunt stuff? We just live in such a different time.
Yeah.
People are so happy.
Companies getting sued like crazy.
I mean, they are on us like flies on a rib roast. We just can't. And I know it sucks. I know people get mad at us about that stuff, and they think we're lame and we're getting old. We don't want to do shit. Honestly, there's just so much red tape that it's just not worth it. You just have to like us for a personality.
I remember one of Dave Chappelle's old stand-up, he was talking about how messed up it is that they record and then publish 911 calls. He goes, you're hearing people in like the most vulnerable, crazy,
crisis,
potential crisis end of life situation. Like
We got a lot of shit for when we posted. I think we posted Chester Bennington's 911. Is it Chester Bennington from Lincoln Park? Is that who that is?
Was that the one we posted?
We posted. I thought it was someone found. It was a celebrity. Someone found the body, and we posted the call. And we got backlash on that, and I understand why. I totally get it. You don't want, if you're the family, you do not want that out there.
No,
I would not want that.
devastating.
Totally.
We were wrong. Let's see here. Here's an email. But guys, I apologize. Chewy has the worst stomach problems right now, and if you smell farts, it's because he has just got the worst.
I almost fell out of my chair when I first was here.
yeah.
The podcast first started.
He is.
I was like, did I eat something?
No, I feel so bad for him. Yeah, he's right. He's right by you, Beckett. He's just farting all over your pretty self. I apologize. He's
just like aimed, locked, and loaded towards you.
It hurts my heart so much. I gave him some pumpkin the last couple of days, and we're gonna see if he might be going to the vet tomorrow in my fucking cheerleading outfit.
That's great. Wait, so you have to wear that every day?
I have to wear, if I leave the house, I have to wear this cheerleading outfit. Whether I walk Chewy, whether I go get my mail.
So now that we're inside, you're just wearing it because you're...
Well, the way I figured, I knew if I didn't wear it, people were going to give me shit. And
got
then
it.
half the people would be like, I thought Bird was supposed to, and then I'm wearing it.
Well, no one could ever give you credit for not being a good sport.
Well, thank you, Becky.
Yeah.
And no one can ever give you credit for not just being one hell of a guy.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
This is a question for Jason with his haunting. We're going to get to all that in a second. I'm way behind. I'm catching up from the Great 48 podcast. And I listened to the Weird and Whatever when they played the EVPs of the ghost saying, help me, then fuck you in two different voices. Is one ghost being trapped by the demon? Is one ghost trying to be free of the same demon haunting Jason? I'm so curious. I'm catching up, blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Morgan. Vicky, I know that we've talked about the footage. We've talked to demonologists. We butted heads last week. But I want to hear what you have to say. I know we have this great footage that I am really in love with that I want the people to see, but I also don't want to compromise our friendship. I don't want to make you mad. I don't want to make the guy mad. I want to see where your head's at. I know we have a different philosophy on certain things. We intersect on most. There's a few things we don't agree with, which is definitely okay.
But like I said, the whole video thing, that's my policy since 2007. I've never posted anything. So, I'm not saying that I'm not doing it now. We're talking about it. I can say that according to what I see on the video footage, you have at least two separate things here that I would classify as not being human. Then I think you also have human spirits here as well. So you have a lot of things going on, a lot of layers of things that's going on. Can you have an inhuman or even an aggressive human spirit trap other spirits? Absolutely. They can, because they feed off their energy. So they're going to keep as many spirits here as they can in order to feed off of them. But I think you have one particular one who's kind of in charge. I think the other thing that's not human, I think it's basically its pet and it does its bidding for it because it's a lower level one. And then I think you have some human spirits here too.
Okay, so what do we have to do if we want to get this footage? What's the steps just so we can get this out there and everyone can leave me alone about this?
Well, I'm working with Denny's on it.
Okay, beautiful. All right, do you think we can get it before Halloween?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
all right. So
Denny's the man. So
Denny's is the man.
He will
thanks.
he'll figure out how to get it off the DVR.
He will. Oh yeah, that's his specialty. Okay, so all right. So if anyone's asking, yeah, I still am having stuff go on here. I had something pull me out of my sleep. I believe it was last night. Going to sleep. Felt it yank me, Beckett.
It made me think of a random question that I'm really interested in. So when there ultimately is a cleansing of the spirits, so Jaybird can go about his life and sleep well and go on in peace, is there video that you guys do typically of a cleansing? And is there... No, there's not.
Why is that? Because
you're drawing attention. You're trying to get rid of something, and you're drawing attention. Like, so let's just say this were a regular human haunt, and Bobby Joe and I came in here and we did a cleansing. I would run audio while we were doing the cleansing, never video, but audio. I would not touch that audio. I would wait to see if we were successful. If we were not successful and the activity continued, then I would review the audio to see if I got a message during that cleansing as to why it's not working. But if it worked, I'm not touching that audio because I'm not bringing attention back to whatever was here. It's gone. I'm done with it. I don't need to listen to it.
Interesting. Yeah, because I guess my question, I was thinking like, do you was there a way to maybe see the spirits see evidence of the spirits leaving?
The activity would cease. There was one particular cleansing that Bobby Joe and I did. We play good cop, bad cop. I'm the good cop. And my job is to, any spirits that want to cross, they basically congregate where I am while she goes to the house getting rid of the ones that don't. And in this particular case, the client had a dog, and the dog was outside on the porch. Bobby Joe does not know what's going on in my head. So she comes and she sits across from me, and it was time for me to help the spirits cross. She said the dog all of a sudden looks up and follows something, goes straight up. She didn't know. And as soon as the dog did that, when the dog was up like this, I said, okay, they're gone. She didn't know what I was seeing. The dog saw what was going on and literally followed something up like this and watched it go up.
That's interesting, because that was my next question. It was not meant to be facetious. It's an honest question, like in the sense that, does it like leave through the door? Does it just kind of like disseminate in its current space? Does it go up?
It depends on who it is. In that particular cleansing, we had a very nasty one there that refused to go to the other side. So when she got to the master bathroom, again, we are in 2 separate rooms. She doesn't know what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. I see this thing dart out through the window. 2 seconds later, Bobby Joe goes, oh man, I think he just ran out. He left the house. She didn't know what I was seeing. We were in 2 completely separate rooms. I saw it happen. 2 seconds later, she tells me what she thinks happened as well.
Wow.
And so sometimes if we're just getting rid of them and they're not going to the other side, they basically just leave. They just run out. If they're crossing to the other side, I see them go up.
Do you feel anything during the podcast?
Tonight I haven't really concentrated on it. I try not to be honest with you now. I kind of put my shield up when I come here
Why is that?
because I don't want this thing messing with me.
Right on.
Do you feel a little bit more comfortable that you don't wear the protecting thing that you have?
I haven't been wearing the necklace because I gave it to my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Chewy is just.
Yeah, it was really bad before.
Ponton, could you please take him for a walk? The poop bags are over there.
He hit me hard when I first hit it.
The,
Well, it smells like sulfur and eggs.
I know.
It's like I
my
walked
poor,
into a
That's
wall.
not the demon. That's Chewy.
That's definitely Chewy. Poor guy.
Maybe he's cleansing the place.
Yeah.
That's one way to
I
get
don't-
rid of
yeah.
it. That's one way to get rid
and
of it.
Ponton, his collar is up by the alien hands and the head, right by my up here, Ponzi. Yeah, right there.
So another random question, just out of curiosity and for my own edification. So is it popular belief that spirits have senses? And what I mean by senses, touch, smell, all of those things.
Like, for example, one of the reasons I don't use sage is because it can be debilitating for human spirits. So if you go in and you sage your place and it's not a bad spirit that you're trying to get rid of, and you have protective spirits, it actually makes them sick for about 3 days.
Interesting.
So if I'm going to do a cleansing and I think I have something really nasty, which is the only time I would ever bring out sage, I say if there's any good protection here, you need to leave. Walk outside the door because this is what I'm getting ready to do. And anytime you're doing a cleansing, it's all about your intent and stating what you want done and what your purpose is.
So the spirits are smelling chewy farts.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
it's rough in here.
Oh yeah.
I think with that note, I think we have to turn this boat around and go ahead and say it's time for some
Denny's Random Facts.
Woo!
It's rough
It's rough in here, man.
because it moved in.
I know you're against sage, but we might have to light up some sage, Vicky. So we gotta light something up.
At
We'll just
this
do
point,
the
yeah.
lemongrass candle or something.
All right, Denny's, wow us.
Well,
So,
so
sorry, let me just explain to the audience. Vicky, our educator, will be grading every single one of Denny's factoids from A to F. If they're good, he gets an A. If they're bad, he gets an F. 4 fart.
oh yeah, yeah. Let's see how many 1 out of 5 farts I get in this one. So just funny you brought up sage because I just read this the other day. Sage, when you sage a place, actually kills bacteria. They said it kills up to about 90% of the bacteria in your house with just sage. So that's just a free bonus one that I remember from the other day.
I'll give you an A for that one.
Because
it's
I
topical?
tied it
A
in.
little, yeah.
I
Yeah,
tied it in. That's
accent,
it.
yeah.
That's what it's all about. All right, let's see here. You guys seemed to like the little goofier ones last time, so I kind of went down that.
Just go with your gut, bro.
I will. I will go with it all here. But let's see. This is kind of a fun one I found. There's a font called Sans Forgetica, which is designed to help readers remember the text because the font itself is difficult to read. It helps people learn because of the difficulty of reading it.
Okay.
Sans Forgetica. You can get it in your Microsoft
I
Word.
kind of want to forget to go that factoid.
That's in Microsoft Word.
Yeah, it's one of the the font's available now. Stands for Forgetica.
What a jokester naming it Forgetica.
I know, that's why they did it.
As a teacher, I kind of like that because you're having to pay closer attention to what you're
Put
reading.
the note cards in it. Put the note
yeah.
cards.
And as a friend,
I'll give that one a solid B.
I'll give you a B.
No, I'm cool. What is that scent? Sorry, I'm looking off screen here. Let's see.
Get focused, Denny's.
This kind of depressed me when I read this because you ever see that movie Forever Young with Mel Gibson?
I have. Is that when he turns, he gets old, pruned face or prune face?
Yeah, kind of. Well, so he gets cryogenically frozen.
Okay.
So I mean,
I might be thinking of the wrong movie.
yeah, you must have seen it. It was popular, like I'd say like '94, but I digress. The reason I bring it up is because cryogenic freezing was a pretty popular technology at that time, and I was always wondering what happens to the company. They cryogenically freeze you, and how do they fund so long? Well, it turns out they can't. As of 2018, most of the cryogenic companies that froze bodies, they all went out of business. They couldn't afford to stay in business. And they thawed out the corpses and just tossed them. Isn't that so depressing?
So what about like someone like Ted Williams who had his head cut off and frozen?
Disney,
Bullshit.
all those guys. They can't.
Disney is a. I heard that's a rumor.
No, for sure. I threw
Ted
that.
Williams, I think, is real. The Hall of Fame baseball player.
Well, there's a bunch of wealthy people that tried it, and unfortunately, it just was not viable to keep them alive that long. So depressing.
Would you guys do anything like that? Would you freeze your body? I don't want to all of a sudden, in 1,000 years, wake up with this mind from 2019, and now it's 3019. I don't want to be a part of that shit.
No.
People are 9 feet tall now. Everyone's got 4 eyes.
What if someone said that it wouldn't cost $1 million? It'd be free. Still wouldn't
For
do it.
what? For them to research on you, like you're kind of the
No.
guinea, or that it'll definitely work for sure.
So I think the thought process between the freezing thing was that they were going to cryogenically freeze you until technology and medicine was such where they could actually
Resuscitate you.
Yes, exactly.
But still, though, I mean, okay, imagine if you grew up in the year 1819, and all of a sudden you wake up and you're now in 2019.
Now I can look porn on my phone and hang out.
Porn, you wouldn't
Yeah.
even. You would think someone's getting murdered. You wouldn't. They didn't have those kind of positions back then.
It'd be so advanced.
Doggy style, I think, is such a 20th century kind of thing.
Yeah,
This is the best time ever to. There's no doubt in my mind, like whether it continues to get better, but in my opinion, to be in the United States or any kind of first world country in this world is hands down, without a doubt, the best time in the history of the world to live.
But with every great thing comes the yin
Oh,
and
it's
the yang.
always a double-edged sword.
I feel like you're right. There's a lot of great things going on, and there's a great technology. But I also do think we are getting soft as a society. I'm talking just
Totally agree.
all over. The things that we worry about and the things that we spend our time on and the things we nitpick with each other as a species is kind of alarming. I tell Denny's all the time, I think I'm aging out of Earth sometimes.
Well, we do that because things are so great. Is my theory.
Well, that's
right?
it.
Yeah.
I tell Denny's, we need a meteorite like in Armageddon heading to Earth. Now, I don't want Earth to get hurt. I want us to think.
to band together.
We all get together, and oh shit, I just think there's so much. There's a lot of pettiness going on with the human species that's killing part of our soul.
Yeah.
Now, is that part my age? I don't know. I think I've legit seen a change in society in the last 5 years.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Well, you hear, a rich family living in Beverly Hills and whatever, and they have problems with their sister and their dad because they didn't text them back or they did something at the barbecue. It's stuff that they see on Kardashians reality TV. Or like they're nitpicking. They're like whatever. When people are actually worried about where their next meal's coming from, and like it's totally different.
If you're worrying about where your next meal's coming from, your perspective on
Totally different.
you probably hear this other shit going on in the world going, you gotta be shitting me.
Totally.
You're upset about this horse shit.
Yeah, exactly. So it all becomes relative, but I think we've talked about in this podcast, it's psychology, whether it's the fraternity brother hazing or the drill sergeant and the Marines hazing. The outside threat is what caused people to bond together. And that's the only way we're going to have world peace very soon is if there's a meteor, if there's an
some
alien.
sort of outside force.
If there's an alien invasion, it's psychology 101. All of a sudden, Russia, Kim Jong-un, all those guys, we're like, they're on our team. Like we had this. Now I remember why we had this conversation, because I was telling you it's like when baseball, you hated that guy that played for your rival team, and then you guys played travel ball on the all-star team together, and you were like, man, I really thought you were a jerk, but now that you're on my team and we're playing against Team Georgia, like you're my boy. I'm glad you're on my team.
I want to face Beckett one time in baseball.
That actually
one
would be
time,
fun.
Beckett.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
What position did you play?
I played third. I played first. I played pitcher. I wasn't very good in college. I just didn't.
That means
play.
you have the strongest arm on the team.
I did, and I had a weak arm. Weak arm. Big heart.
He's like one of those golfers. I'm like, oh, are you a good golfer? He's like, I don't know. I only
No,
play a while.
I-
And he goes out and like hits like, like scratch.
In college, I was always fighting to get. I was always the 10th guy trying to fight to get on. I just could not quite.
Most people don't play in college.
It's not that. I appreciate the kind words. It's not that impressive. A couple comments in the chat room. Mike M in the chat room talking about old school sex. Nah, brah, doggy style is primal AF.
Totally. I would agree with that. 100% agree with that.
Yeah, because you can look at ever since humans figured out how to make a camera, they started doing porn immediately. I'm not even kidding. Like early film, they started filming people having sex. It was like one of the first things they did.
Prostitution's the oldest
Totally,
profession
man.
supposedly that exists.
It's just so funny. With every great technology advancement we get, it's immediately turned into a way to get porn on it. Like it doesn't even matter. They have like screens on refrigerators now that
That's
I'm
so
sure
true.
some kids like.
Good
wanking
job.
it.
You're spawning some good conversation.
I like to
What
bring
else?
everything back around to porn.
That's great.
Well, so this is kind of I don't know if this is cool or if this is douchey. So, people who refer to themselves by name during inner monologues are calmer, less stressed, and more confident than those people who refer to themselves as I or me in their internal dialogue.
Give me an example.
Well, so you got a big speech. You're like, all right, I can do this. Just ignore everyone. Just think about him naked. I'll be fine. I'll stick to my words. They say it's actually better to be like, all right, Denny's, you got to go out there. You got to stand there. You got to look at him. Denny's, you got to focus.
Say your name.
You got to say your name. And the reason is psychologically is as if you're getting a pep talk from a friend opposed to yourself trying to talk yourself into something. Subconsciously, it calms you down because you feel like you're getting advice from somebody else, which is a way most people get advice.
I like it, Denny's. I give it an A.
I love it.
Well, Vicky likes it, and she'll give it a B.
Really? Why not?
Yes.
How does that not get an A?
I'm not overly impressed.
It's just kind of cool.
Well, I find it
More so than
fascinating.
anything.
Like Tony Robbins and these people, before they go on stage, in addition to like self-talk, they do poses. Like to sit up with your back straight or stand up with your back
posture,
straight.
yeah.
They call it a Superman pose. And it actually affects your confidence and your mood going in.
all that stuff psychologically impacts you. Just little tiny bits collect.
I don't know. I feel like when I kind of put my chest out and walk all confident, I kind of feel like I'm a prick. Hey, world, look at me. I don't know.
Especially
but it makes your
when you're in a skirt.
costume there look better.
My shit's popping right now.
yeah.
I'm on a diet, Beckett. I can't be in this tight ass Dolphins uniform and
Where'd you
have a
get
spare
that?
time. Virginia got it off the internet.
It looks legit.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it does. It looks good on you.
I'm giving Beckett a boner over
I know.
there.
I've dated some cheerleaders. It's actually a kind of a turn on.
What a shock. You dated some hot cheerleaders. Let me guess.
You want to
they're
switch seats with me?
I tagged them on your post. Did you see that?
Tag what?
The cheerleaders on your post.
No. I don't know if you should be talking about tagging cheerleaders. We got a couple other. Oh, no. Keep going, Denny's. One more fact.
All right, this is a fun one. Just because I know we were talking about shitty candy earlier. Haley Curtis is one of Cadbury's 10 taste testers. Her taste buds are so important to that company that they insured her tongue for $1.25 million because of her tasting abilities. What do you think? Do you guys like Cadbury?
I hate
No.
I
Cadbury.
fucking hate Cadbury.
I hate Cadbury.
So it's all that woman's fault then.
well,
that we all don't
if
like
you're a
Cadbury.
Cadbury lover,
Who's a Cadbury lover? It's like.
they're out there, man.
By the way, Beckett, I talked a lot of shit about kale today on the KVJ show.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of shit.
You would have
Yeah?
wins.
I should have called in.
Well, because people are starting to wake up. People don't like kale, Beckett. They don't like kale.
That's so good for you, though.
It's good for you, but it doesn't taste good. I remember you were trying to sell that shit like it was a Lay's potato
No
chip.
lettuce tastes good. It's like what you put on it.
If you put enough dressing and cheese, lettuce is very good.
Well, you don't love bread crust like you love the tomato sauce and the cheese.
I don't
and
love
the
bread crust.
seasoning.
Wow, Beckett does not know me at all. Once again, get out of my house.
Not into the same level that you like it with the combination.
I don't tell me what I like. I love bread crust.
Do you like when they mess with the crust? When they actually remember when Pizza Hut was actually putting like the cheese in the crust?
Not a big cheese.
It's too much.
So I think the concept on paper, putting cheese in crust, is phenomenal. Not one of these son of a bitches know how to do it.
Yeah.
It's always the gross, generic, thick ass cheese. It's never cooked
like
good.
fake cheese.
It's fake cheese. It's chemically. Great on paper. I've yet to see anybody execute it the right way. Vicky, thoughts?
I don't like cheese in my crust, so
Wow.
Yeah, the application.
I'm not a cheese person.
You don't like
You don't like
cheese?
cheese at all?
Okay, now Vicky, now you.
Cheese and bread, you guys attacked like two of his favorite things.
Yeah. What's
I
next?
don't like bread or cheese.
What's next? Sauce?
Pasta.
I love pasta too.
Wait, why were you guys ripping on kale?
Because there's a study going. It's
Not as healthy as they thought.
No, it's not as popular. People are admitting that they don't like it as much as they thought. Everything's such a trend. Oh, I love this and I love that. And then you realize, no, I actually don't like fucking kale because it's gross. Can I get an A?
What about chard? That stuff's pretty gnarly.
Chard?
Yeah, I'm not a big chard guy.
I don't know what that is.
It's even like shittier than kale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we stop talking about kale, please? I know I brought it up. All right, are you done?
You want one more? You guys seemed underwhelmed by that last one.
Let's ask the audience. Audience, you want one more Denny's fact?
All right. You guys ever go to that weird Florida site? It's like Weird Florida. It talks.
What's that?
WPTV.com.
There's a site called Weird Florida where it's all the weird shit in Florida. I
Yeah,
guess.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, so you guys ever heard of the giant penguin of Clearwater, Florida?
Not once.
Well, so it's actually probably no wonder you guys haven't heard of it. It's not that big of a deal. But in 1948, a man decided to prank his whole town. He made these lead shoes with 3 toes, and every night for 10 years he would walk on the beach until everyone believed that there was a giant penguin in town. And then on his deathbed, he told no one to reveal it for another 15 years, in which when they revealed it, it blew everyone's minds because they thought there was a giant penguin haunting the beaches.
That's fun.
All right, so you want to...
The giant penguin of Clearwater.
And on a low note, I do like that
get out of
strategy.
here! Get out of here! 40 years that was hidden from the public.
I mean, if you're not watching at home, Vicky's face says it all right now.
They had cryptozoologists go out there, couldn't find nothing.
Vicky's face looks like she just ate a shit ton of kale. That's how.
Or Chewy came back and farted.
If you ever talk about my dog in front of people again, in front of company days. We have a couple more emails. So a lot of great email stuff. Another ghost-like one, Vicky. I was just wondering if you guys believed if ghosts could live in and underwater. 2 years ago, I was boating at nighttime. I docked in the middle of nowhere and then saw what looked to be a floating woman hovering over my boat area. Before I knew it, it flew up a little and then plunged straight down into the water. It happened so quick, but I know what I saw. Was it a ghost? Was it an angel? Hell, was it a mermaid? Would love to hear your thoughts, especially Jaybird. Love the podcast. Alberto from North Palm Beach. I mean, we talk about stuff from the ocean all the time. I'm a big believer that it's very, very possible UFOs, all that kind of stuff is in water. There was a cool photo, I think it was in Greece, where it looked like a crop circle in the middle of is basically the shore and then a little bit inlet, and then you see this big crop circle in the middle of the ocean. It looked like a ship living in there. Now, was it? I don't know. But I think there's definitely shit living in the ocean that's not just fish and manatees. What are your thoughts, Vicky?
Yeah, I would feel like if there were a spirit in the ocean, probably the site of a tragedy, probably somebody who drowned there. And, it may not even be it could be what we call a residual. It could be that it's just a memory and that it replays and it's not the actual spirit of the person.
Well,
but
is
it's
that?
Totally believable.
So what is that then? The residual.
Residual is when you don't have an active spirit. It's almost like someone has pressed play and a memory will replay itself because the earth records all of our activities.
All of them?
Yes.
Oh, Beckett. Mm-hmm. So then is it possible that what I see sometimes, let's say not talk about the demon thing, but let's say I have an entity here. who's to say that's not a replay just going on? What's the difference between a
It
replay
could
and a
be,
ghost?
but like a replay is not going to call us names on a recorder. A replay is not going to answer questions. It's not going to do things like that because it's just going to go. Now, if you saw every night at 9:00, you saw a woman come down your stairs, never interact with you, and walk straight out your door without ever looking at you, that's probably residual. But when you have 20 to 30 EVPs during a small session like we did, no, that's an intelligent haunt. That's not a residual.
Okay, but so what you're saying though, it's possibly not a residual though as well. It could be a ghost.
Yeah, I'm saying yours is probably intelligent.
I'm talking about the water one. The water one could be a ghost.
The
though,
water one
technically.
could be.
Technically.
But it could also be residual.
What are your thoughts on mermaids? I mean, it's been 2 years since we've talked about mermaids. Is that something that is absolutely out of the realm for you? Mermaids?
Probably.
Why? So I get why, because you have experience with a ghost. You never experienced a mermaid. But why is it? Tell me why you don't believe
I mean,
it.
I think that there would be more sightings. I mean, most of them happened back in, earlier times. We don't have any recent mermaid sightings.
They're all horny and
Sailors
Yeah.
are horny,
so horny.
Yeah.
drunk,
They're
and
delirious.
they hadn't seen a woman in 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, I
They
mean-
confused a manatee, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
do you think that you could confuse a manatee
If you're
and a
drunk
woman
At that point,
and a
Yeah,
woman?
for sure.
you're in the 1400s sailing and like
salty
you're
dog.
drunk
Yeah.
and yeah.
Why did women look like manatees back then?
I don't know.
Ariel's saying yes.
Yeah.
Actually-
they were a little broader.
The Little Mermaid, I actually had a big crush on Little Mermaid. She was probably one of the hottest Disney characters.
All right, Becky,
Don't
we're
you
not
think?
talking about the cartoons you want to bang. I know that's where you wanted to go.
Don't you think that's one of the hottest Disney characters?
Yeah, she's hot, but
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if I'm comfortable.
Admitting it?
No, I don't think I'm comfortable making Ariel a sex symbol. I'm kidding. I thought she was hot. Do you think it's possible that we're having... I'm sorry, let me read that again. Do you think it's possible that we could have some weird entities coming from the middle of the earth? Did we do this email?
Yeah,
we
We
talked
did.
about
My
that.
bad. Sorry, we'll move on. Denny, do you have the one clip, the news reporter clip?
Yes, reporter says.
Yeah, so me and Denny's love these news reporters when they make these slips and they don't know how to react. There was one in the news yesterday. Go ahead and play it.
Lunch in the Seattle School District, teriyaki chicken with rice bowl or turkey sub sandwich. And Ken, it's the Motzi Dunkers and marijuana. No. Marinara.
Very interesting day at school today.
Or chicken burger and Everton rockin' ravioli. Yeah, you'll be rocking with garlic toast and a Tacoma bean and cheese chalupa with Mexican rice. Have a great day at school, kids.
That's great.
No, I love when news people mess up.
Oh, the
'cause
news
try to
bloopers are the
recover.
best.
They do not know how to handle it.
No.
We work sometimes with the news stations, and our show can get a little weird, a little edgy, and we'll try to ask them something just slightly out there, and they get so uncomfortable.
That's great.
It's really funny to watch.
That was funny when you were talking to Al Roker and you were asking him about weather control.
All I said was, "Hey Al, some people believe in weather control, that the government might." Oh no! What are you talking about? There's no such thing.
That's such a trigger.
It's a trigger.
Yeah,
for-
because he's been hit with like climate change people and like all that, like
Oh.
the deniers, and like he just gets a headache, so he just feels like that's where it's gonna go, and he gets real triggered.
I was prepping before the podcast today, and I was watching some video, and it was making me so mad. It was these three scientists versus these three flat earthers. And now these are scientists that they've dedicated their life to education and just to really, getting facts and
Study,
research,
yeah.
like everything. And then you've got this one guy who calls himself a truth seeker. That's his title, truth seeker. And they're basically calling out these scientists for not knowing what the hell they're doing. And they believe that the flat earth is real. And you start to see these scientists. They're trying to be calm because they know they're on camera. And this one guy, the truth seeker, is like, yeah, but you guys just don't understand. I mean, you guys are uneducated. He's calling the scientists uneducated. And the one guy goes, he looks at the other scientist. He's calling us uneducated? What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
It was so frustrating to watch. You can't argue with people like that.
No, it's crazy.
Does anybody in the chat room, please let me know right now. Do we have anybody in the chat room that believe in flat earth theory whatsoever, or even on the fence about it? Because their whole thing is, We've never seen it. NASA's lying. I mean,
Well, I think they're doing the cruise next year, right? 2020. They're doing the flat earther cruise to take it to the edge of the planet to see what happens.
it's great.
They anticipate they're going to hit a giant ice wall.
I love it. I can't wait.
Let me look that up because I think it's next year they're doing that.
Oh man, yeah.
It's like the opposite of Noah's Ark.
People are people in the chat room. People on Twitter. They're like, no, flat earthers are the worst. They're terrible to argue with.
You just can't. Like my dad says, you can't. There's no reasoning with crazy. There's just no.
There's really not. Have you ever
not.
dated somebody where you
Yeah.
go, I'm never gonna win.
Yeah.
This is only gonna end in just the worst kind of awful.
There's no point. Like there are people that I strongly disagree, whether it's politics or it's a lot of different subjects. But if I can intellectually understand how they got there, then I can respect their opinion.
Yeah.
You know, but if they have no basis for it, you know, like to me, that's crazy.
So I think a lot of these people, they use the platform knowing that people are going to attack it. They intentionally go, you know, they might believe it in a certain sense, but they're using it more as a platform to get their career going. So
Yeah,
a lot of these,
counterculture.
they go out there intentionally to piss off a demographic, and then when everybody's talking about them, they use that time then to push their name out there and then get people to their channel.
Oh, there's so much of that going on.
So you just don't know if it's an act or not. Everybody's Andy Kaufman now. You can't tell.
So the whole time I was watching that thing, I thought two of the people believed what they were talking about. They were completely uneducated with everything they talked about, and they believed it so much. And I don't want to rip on people for their beliefs, but it was just fucking hard to watch. It was tough to watch.
Yeah, well, I think that, you know, even what we do, like what we talk about, like we have an open mind. It's good to be skeptical and ask questions and do those things. But, you know, when the preponderance of evidence is clear and it's experts and, you know, there's a certain point where it's at that
Definitive.
point. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you guys-
It's 2020. I looked it up. They're saving up for it. I guess they got to GoFundMe and stuff.
I mean, I just want to know a true. I mean, there's not one person in the chat room saying, "Yeah, I'm into this."
Well, that one's tricky because there's no motive. So I'm always like, if you're gonna get lied to, there has to be somebody making something from it. There has to be.
Wait a minute.
You could follow the money, but so what are flat earthers gaining? What
We-
would we possibly gain by the government telling us the Earth isn't?
I think
Totally agree.
I think we got one in the chat room that believes it, but they could be trolling us. I don't know. I don't know.
There's no motivation to gain anything from that. That would be just a blanket lie for no purpose whatsoever. It just doesn't add up.
Here's more of a matter of the heart type question. We've been talking a lot of ghost stuff. Let's go a different avenue. Dear Weird Whatever, I just suffered the greatest disappointment in my career. I lost a promotion to the guy who stole my girlfriend away from me. This was going to mean I was going to make $20,000 more in my salary. Now I have to go back and watch this guy gloat around the office while I still have the same shitty position. I was wondering if you all could tell me your greatest career disappointment. Somehow I think that would make me feel better. Sincerely, Ryan from Fort Lauderdale. Imagine you think you're going to get a promotion and the guy who steals your girlfriend away gets it. That's like a movie.
Yeah.
The injustice.
That's messed up.
That's rough, man.
That's so rough.
You just got dealt a real.
I don't know if I could
crappy
stay at
hand.
that gig. I think I might have to start looking at somewhere else. Watching him, and he's got my girl and my job.
Oh, if that was the sitch, I'd have to cut
Shit,
ties.
that. Okay, let's go around the room. Greatest career disappointment, if you had to say. Let's go with you, Vicky.
It wasn't really a career. It was a job. I worked at an Orange Grove one time, and I was hired at the beginning of the season because they're only open seasonal. And I was not the last one hired. There was another woman that was hired after me. And I worked a couple weeks, and they called me and said, "Oh, we don't need as much staff as we thought we did. You know, somebody came back, and we're not going to need you." I'm like, fine. So I didn't hold any grudges, so I went and I was there to buy some orange juice, and I saw the woman who got hired after me still working there. So that probably was because I was like, oh, so why did she get to stay and I didn't?
Well,
and I actually had experience because I'd worked for a different Orange Grove before.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was probably my biggest.
Beckett, opening up here.
I think
getting raw.
I do a lot of like random stuff. Like in terms of real estate, yeah, I could tell you about deals that fell apart. I had a deal that I was really young, and it was a huge deal. It was in the middle of the recession, and no one was making any money.
Are you able to say how much you would make on it?
It was a big commission. It was a farm. It was a horse farm for $19 million. So you'd make 3% on that.
Denny's, quick, do the math.
3% on 19 million.
It's a lot of money.
Way more
well,
money than we have.
I had
It's like a million or something.
I had a split with my broker, but like that was disappointing. No one was making any money. It would have been like even probably to this point, like the biggest sale in the history of my career. And egos got involved on the seller and in my client thing, and the deal blew up. Nothing I could control. And like that would have been like totally like game changing for me. But the biggest disappointment is that and maybe I told you this guys before, it's not so much career, but since I do random stuff, I was supposed to be on Survivor, and I told the Bachelorette that I didn't want to do, just randomly I was being cast at the same, I was 26, I was probably around the same time actually as that farm sale. And
it was a rough year.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember telling my friends, I'm like, you go on the show like a Bachelorette, it doesn't matter how cool of a guy you are, you're instantly a douchebag. Like when you go on that show, you're all vying, you got to get engaged at the end after like 9 weeks. The Survivor at the time was when Survivor was like pretty big, way better than Bachelorette. And you have like intellectual challenges, physical challenges. Like I forgot how much money, but you won a lot of money. It was on CBS. I was like, by far, that's what I want to do. And I bailed on Bachelorette, which was a sure thing. And I was basically pretty definite. They had my passport. They gave me vaccines. Like I'd been out to LA, done all this stuff. And a week before I was supposed to leave, they called me and they're like, yeah, you got bumped. And one of the things they thought I was going to be boring on television because my psychological evaluation they did in Myers-Briggs was like normal, and it was
they need some insanity.
I got bumped for an anesthesiologist, so it was like between me and like I was on and off, so then I ended up with nothing.
I love how the chat room's starting to do percentages of what you would make on that deal.
They probably can figure it out.
I don't know if it's right or not, but we have our first offer in. So Denny's, your turn.
Well, so funny enough, I was living in Orlando, and I don't know. Initially, I thought it was a negative, but in hindsight, I don't necessarily consider it anymore. But I got the job at Transcontinental Studios, but I also applied in another place, Tiburon Studios, which is EA Sports, where I would do audio for video games.
That's cool.
And I got a call back on both of them, had a second interview at both places, and I went with the recording studio because I had a friend that worked there instead of the other one, and that was the only sole decision maker on that one because I thought both gigs were equally as cool. Now, I really did enjoy working at the recording studio, and in hindsight, it led me to West Palm Beach and to where I'm at now. But at the time, I could have gone into video games, and it would have been pure video game audio.
That's cool. I know you love video games.
I do. That was my initial passion. So originally, I mean, I already knew how to write music and such, and so I was looking to write music scores for video games. And then I was also still freelancing, writing hip-hop beats and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of living in both worlds, and that's when I decided I'd fully go into audio and learn how to do the craft of recording music and bands and all that stuff.
Speaking of beats, did you check out the new Snack King video?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I commented on it. It's really good.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing if you guys like the Snack Pack listening at home, we're gonna be doing a Snack Pack podcast.
Looks
on
like
Friday.
That's what it looks like it landed.
Are the
on.
girls from the video going to be it?
No, Beckett, hands off, hands off. Don't come in here trying to steal our Snack King girls. Oh, very very good stuff. Yeah, so that'll be coming up on Friday.
What about the bird? What's your career?
Honestly, for me, probably not really not getting all the YouTube stuff down. We do so many videos, and we work a lot on these videos, and I feel like we've gotten a lot better at these videos, and not just the music videos, but just all of our videos, and they just don't do that well. And we have a big audience, and I know the people who check them out, they seem to like them. There's always going to be people who don't like your shit. Just for whatever reason, we cannot get. I mean, for example, we have 20,000 people just about in our YouTube channel, and we just can't. Like even the Snack King video, we're not even at 3,000 views yet. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong, and I was the one that was kind of supposed to lead the YouTube thing, and I feel like I've completely failed. I think we should be having more views, more likes, all that stuff, and I can't get it done. I feel like a failure on that.
Yeah, we'll talk offline. It's usually not the content. It's as crazy as it sounds, but maybe it makes sense. It's the strategy.
It is.
Yeah, the behind it, the release. Because a lot of people I use YouTube all the time. I have
Yeah.
a YouTube account, but like I don't go and check my YouTube feed, you know? Like,
And that's just it, because comments and likes and shares, all that drives that. And I have to, you have to ask people to do that. People just don't want to do that. They
Right.
have to really be so passionate about it. Like even the weird and whatever. The people that comment are the passionate ones, but we should have a lot more with the amount of people that listen, with the amount of people that listen to the KVJ show. Just I don't know if either the way we're giving out the content is the right way. Just for whatever reason, we are underachieving greatly, and it's very frustrating. It's like you just said. It's in my opinion, my greatest career disappointment.
yeah, because you guys got some gold that you guys put out.
Nobody knows. Nobody watches it.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking watches
Like
it.
even IGTV now, like IGTV, you go on and like that, it's the more clicks someone has to do, the less likely they are to
Yes.
go to, right?
Yep.
So if I'm on Instagram and I'm commenting on your thing, or I'm looking at Barstool Sports or whatever, and then I see your video, I'm like, oh, I can just watch it here. If I have to like go find, you know what I mean? Like it's just like, it sounds crazy, but it's like little simple things like
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean we're constantly trying to do all that.
The game changes so much.
The game changes, and we also have a whole morning show we have to produce as well. So the YouTube thing is just another layer of shit.
Yeah.
You have to make the video, then you got to. And I'm terrible at promoting. I know I'm annoying on social media. Hey, please like and share. I hate doing that stuff, but we're in the fucking game.
Yeah.
We're in the game.
Yeah, you guys need like a good intern. Like,
We need somebody that really understands social media,
Yeah.
that understands YouTube, that can help tweak little things, and that wants to do it for free.
Totally.
The ending is the important part.
Let's go and do some Would You Rathers. I don't think we did Would You Rather last week.
Yeah, we've been skipping them.
All right. I'm not going to make you guys get out of your shell today, but I will say this, just to put it on your radar. This is what I wanted to do. Right off the top of your head, you have to come up with a 30-second scary story. No prep, nothing.
We could save it for Halloween.
No, let's not.
All
Becky
right,
looks like he wants to get into it.
No, I was just thinking about
Okay,
it.
I'm glad. Keep thinking. And on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, give us your story. Go.
So I was walking through the forest to go see the devil tree. And then all of a sudden, I see Chewie. But it's not really Chewie. It's a ghost of Chewie. And he's very gaseous.
Keep going.
And
like 10
so I finally get to the devil tree. And there's... Oh, that's Siri. Siri hears me. That's crazy.
Did you hit the button?
No.
You must
I
have
must have
said
said something
something
similar to
That
it.
sounds hasty.
That's kind of spooky.
Siri.
That's my story. That's what happened.
Okay. Everybody in the chat room, do me a favor. Grade Beckett's story.
Don't grade me.
Was it bullshit or was it genius?
But you
Let
have
us
to
know.
you have to grade on a curve because I was the first one to go. That's what teachers do, right? You get credit because you're the first one
No,
to go.
No.
I'm the teacher of this class, and guess what? I'm one of those pricky teachers. I think you should always be prepared. I
like
don't-
Mr. Hand.
I don't give out. Do you give out extra credit, Vicky?
I don't teach regular class. I do intervention classes.
What does that mean?
That means kids that are low, they're not on grade level in reading. I take them for 30 minutes and I do intensive reading with them.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Maybe you could help me out a little bit. I'm not kidding.
That's my scary story.
No, you're off though. No. We're gonna get Vicky to rap, not tonight, but Vicky's rapping at one point. I know she doesn't want to. Denny's, I will not make you tell a scary story. We'll do a little would you rather. Okay, would you rather?
That's like the hot seat. We did like hot seat. You're like, oh, last time's hot seat wasn't good enough, so I did it a second time, and then we just ended the segment.
Boo fucking who? We pick on the pretty one. We pick on the prettiest person here.
Oh my god.
3%.
Bottom of the toe.
Would you rather only do baby talk when you speak? Always. Every time you talk, you have to talk like this, Becky. The whole time.
Is there any more juice?
Hold on. Let me hear your baby talk, boy.
I want more juice. Does that sound babyish?
Okay, only do baby talk when you speak or always smell like baby crap, no matter how hard you try to cover it up. So you're either, hey, how's it going, baby? Do you want a sandwich? Or you smell like baby crap. Basically like Chewy the whole time. Vicky,
Talk.
baby talk?
Yeah.
Could we get a taste of a little baby talk?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's
Real good.
That's good.
Real good. All right. Denny's get a little more baby.
I want some juice, guys.
What's with the juice?
I don't think I'm talking like a baby. They don't know much. They like milk
No,
and
you
juice.
have to talk like an adult. It's talking like a baby.
Well, my computer's not working.
Sound like an Italian mafia.
That's like a monster guy.
You sound like Joe
like-
Pesci.
Well, I'm so
Gangster vibe.
Because you more talk like this, Jenny.
I'm so sad.
All right, Becky, what do you got?
Giggity goo. What are we gonna do for the rest of the podcast?
No, terrible. What was worse, Vicky? Beckett's baby talk or his story?
Ooh.
What if
No,
I had to do the
his
story
talk
in baby
was
talk?
Don't you love when people put you on the spot, ask you to do something, you do it, and all they do is rip on you? That's not very cool of
Do
me.
a flip. That was horrible.
You're right, that wasn't cool of me. I'm going to go with baby talk for sure. Like, you can't smell like baby crap everywhere you go. You just can't.
I don't know. So much of my life I have to be communicating.
Oh, yours does? The whole time, like, so Virginia, tell me what's going on in the dirt today.
You do radio. You should 100% choose baby poop.
No, yeah, baby poop. You're right, but I couldn't. I'd have to do baby poop. That's terrible.
Because you're radio. You're baby poop.
I would like to get laid sometime back in. Baby poop. At least baby talk.
So you're choosing sex over your career?
Baby talk. You could at least work that in the bedroom. I think I could make it work on the show. I do. I think I could make baby talk work.
But it's not a bit. It's like the whole time.
It'd be rough.
It'd be rough to talk dirty. Baby talk dirty. That'd be tough.
I think people do that though. Oh, you want to touch my boobs?
Really?
Yeah, there are some girls that do baby talk that thinks it's sexy. And by the way, it is not. It's very cringy. If you're doing baby talk with me, don't.
Can we explain why the daddy thing exists? Like the whole like call me daddy thing. Like, don't you think it's going to be a fad that people look back on 5 years from now?
I think people are going to always love that.
What?
Yeah, I do.
It does not make any sense to me.
Because you're looking at it as in the sense of dad. It's not dad. It's daddy. Daddy's a pet name. And it's just kind of like, take it over. You're in charge of the situation, daddy. Daddy. Yeah, Beck. Good daddy.
I'm not sold on it without explanation.
Yeah, it's not my favorite either.
All right. Well, why don't you
Like,
go?
your girl calls me daddy. Like, I'm like, well, why?
Why don't you go bang a robot? Okay. Would you rather vandalize your best friend's house on Halloween night, destroying everything they own, then frame it on an innocent one of their family members, or so you got that right?
Yeah.
All right. There's a lot there. Or sleep with a family member's significant other, causing nothing but heartache and ruin for your family.
Oh, jeez.
Definitely the vandalism.
So you're gonna destroy someone's house, then make them think one of their good friends did it, and they never know. Like they're always gonna get pinned for that.
Yeah, it's way better than banging a friend's girl. Like, for sure.
Vicky, what are your thoughts on this?
He's probably got homeowner's insurance, and I know it's not. I can't do loopholes. I can't buy him more stuff.
You cannot. No. In fact, if you
That's
ask,
the worst. You blame it on another friend, and then you replace it, so you're the good guy.
yeah, you make the innocent person look terrible. Then you replace. You're completely evil, and that person never gets justice. They are always known to be the person that vandalized the house.
Yeah, I feel like I want to find a loophole, but I think I'm still going with the vandalism. Yeah.
Vicky.
What does the person look like?
Oh, real hot, great dancer, smells wonderful.
Reread it again.
Okay. It was vandalize your best friend's house on Halloween night, destroying everything they own, then frame it on an innocent person, either one of their family members or their significant other, or sleep with a family member's significant other, causing nothing but heartache and destruction to that family.
Okay, so everybody does find out.
They find out, but
Yeah.
the other thing's pretty bad too,
Yeah.
vandalism.
Well, sorry, Bobby Joe, your house is a goner.
Oh,
shit.
Sorry.
You can get new stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
I vandalized the stuff.
Yeah.
I feel bad about it.
Yeah.
So you're going with that too, Dennis?
Yeah. What about you?
I'm going with that too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a lopsided question. I was tired when I wrote it. Okay. Would you rather eat nothing but human feet? That's all you could eat for the rest of your life. So when you're hungry, Beckett, get out the Tupperware of human feet. That's what you're eating. Or you wake up and have pig's feet for the rest of your life with a 10 out of 10 pain constantly.
Oh, damn. Can you take anything for the pain?
You can only eat pig's feet.
So your diet is pig's feet, the thing that you walk on?
What do you pick?
Oh, my God.
You have to eat human feet or you have pig's feet.
Human
that are,
feet, ADL.
What is a pig's foot? A pig's foot's a hoof, isn't it?
Look at
Yeah.
the hoof.
It's a hoof.
But you're eating human. You're not eating pig's feet. You're eating human feet.
I think
Yeah,
I'm going
gonna
with
have
the
to eat-
human.
Yeah.
You're eating the feet.
Yeah. And I'm a vegan.
Yeah. As long as there's good meat on that feet.
It's free food.
Vicky.
Yeah. It'd be a
And
big
the
expense.
pig's feet, they hurt to walk on too.
So
that-
the
Pain
pain-
level.
He said it's 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 pain.
Pain's the rough part.
All right, I'm the only time I'll ever do this ever. I'll make one
Pig feet
exception.
sucks.
It's 6 out of 10 pain. Pretty good pain.
That sucks still.
I'm still eating the feet.
Yeah, at least the feet doesn't give you pain.
I'm eating feet.
I'm taking the pig's feet.
Really?
I am. Guys, I love food. I love Hot Pockets. I cannot give that all up.
You'd be like the character in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. You know the one I'm talking about?
No, never seen
Oh,
it.
the Narnia?
Yeah, you look like the fawn,
The Fawn. That's right.
right?
Yeah,
he has
yeah,
the
yeah.
Vicky, do you know what they're talking about? Because they've completely
Just
derailed
nod
the
and
podcast.
smile.
Yeah, just completely derailed. No, just totally kidding. All right, couple more here. We're gonna wrap this shit up. Damn it, I lost my friggin' notes. Bear with me, Denny. Stretch. Give us some more baby talk.
What you guys doing later?
No, I didn't
Drinking some juice. Just drinking some juice.
I didn't say do somebody from The Sopranos.
Get out of here. That sounds just like a baby. I don't know what you're
No,
talking
baby,
about.
you gotta slow it
I'm
down.
kind of pouting. I'm real bad.
You gotta slow it down.
Really doing it.
No, slow it down, baby.
I sound like just like a baby. I don't know what you're talking about.
You sound like a baby that grew up in the Bronx.
Get
That's
out of
right.
here. Whatever.
Would you rather? Let's get focused, Bird. Would you rather look into the sun for 30 straight seconds or lay in a crocodile pit full of crocs for 30 minutes? Crocs, baby, all day long.
Crocs, like the shoes or the animals?
Both are bad.
Yeah, you're right. Fuck it. I'll look at the sun.
You look.
So I didn't mean to drop an F.
I've already said that. Why apologize now? Oh, yeah, by the way, this is 18 and older. Yeah, I'm going to go with crocodiles all day long. If you
Yeah,
look-
I don't want to. You lose your eyesight.
if you look in the sun for 30 seconds, Vicky, do you lose your eyesight?
I'm not an expert on that. so
Yeah, I
can't-
think you
I
would.
can't
If I
answer.
didn't lose my eyesight, I would do the sun.
Well, that's the whole.
What if you
Yeah.
got superpowers instead?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Crocodiles are more aggressive than alligators. I don't know. It's pretty scary.
And I didn't.
And it's 30 minutes.
I didn't finish. You have to wear a chicken skirt.
Oh, you'll die.
Well,
Now they're going blind.
Yeah.
all right. Last one, Vicky. Would you rather only be able to watch and listen to the Black Eyed Peas when it comes to any source of entertainment? It's all. If you turn on your computer, it is.
They have a
boom,
new
boom,
track.
boom. You get all the hits. You get them all. That's all you could ever watch. You put on Netflix to watch The Office. Nope. There's Fergie. Talk about 2008 being too
When
late.
she peed
Yum.
herself on stage.
Denny's.
Did you see that picture?
Yeah, I can't unsee that picture. That's the only thing I think about.
She's hot.
She is.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen her do the national anthem when she makes it like she does the national anthem for an NBA game and she went big and she does some like sexy
Breathy.
jazz. How
Yeah, yeah.
kind of like Denny's baby talk. a little bit. Yeah,
Get out of here.
but it is. Go watch that. And tell me.
bad?
I don't want
Oh,
to
it's
say.
awesome.
I don't want to say it's bad. I don't want to say it's good. I just want to say it is.
It's
Okay.
interesting. It was an interesting
It was
interpretation.
It was an interesting take on the national anthem.
Yeah.
Only be able to listen to the Black Eyed Peas, or you only get 3 hours of sleep every night for the rest of your life.
Oh my god.
Black Eyed Peas.
3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours. I'm sorry.
Because at least you could live.
But then you're just gonna be in a bad mood.
Dude, I'd be in a bad mood if I had fucking Black Eyed Peas around me all the time. No, I hate them. They're my least favorite group of all time. Okay, good stuff, guys. Anything you want to add on? Pin to this conversation?
I was just gonna say, if anybody, Fright Nights is out at the fairgrounds until like the first weekend in November. So if you go out there, my daughter is working in the Cuckoo's Nest. So if you go through
Oh.
that house, see if she can go in there and scare you.
All right, that's cool.
So check it
I
out.
love it. It just people are asking about the footage with the ghost. You and Denny's are going to talk, and then we're going
That's
to.
in Denny's hands.
So next week we're going to have. So next week will be our Halloween podcast. I think we all should dress up.
Okay.
All right, that's cool.
Vicky?
Well, so the next week,
You guys,
I actually had a costume, but when I moved, I don't know what I did with my costume.
I got plenty of costumes for
you guys shut my.
Yeah, I'm a
shut-
little worried about
Well,
what
no,
it would be.
not those kind of
Yeah,
costumes.
we shouldn't do it next week. We should do it the following because it'll be the Wednesday right before Halloween.
Am I off of my scheduling?
1
Okay.
week premature.
All right, Denny, stop yelling at me.
I'm just saying, I'm
Very,
just
very
saying.
good. Okay, yeah, we'll do it in a couple weeks. Oh,
Okay.
So we have some time. We'll give you some updates on everything. Yeah, just to recap here. Still have activity here. Things still grabbing me out of my sleep. Just normal.
Grabbing you inappropriately.
Just a normal day. Now they're grabbing me more because of my outfit.
They can't keep their hands on.
It's more drafty.
But we're gonna keep giving you updates.
What was the question for everyone? in
The question, yes, thank you, Denny's. The question was, if you were listening earlier, when it comes to these school shooting drills, and when they have them go off into the school and nobody knows, the teachers, the students, are you for that? Can you see the benefits of that? Or are you against it? I am on the side of, I think it's a terrible idea to do it. I think you're causing trauma for not only the kids, but for the teachers, if they don't know about it. I am all for drills that everyone's involved with, but you can't send out shooters, fake shooters, and having people really believe. So they sent me the text message of what the kid was texting to the mom. It was heartbreaking. The kid legit thought they were going to die. And then, oh, it's a drill. I'm sorry, you still have all of that shit that went on with you. I'm very against it. But yeah, when this video is over, please leave your comment down there. You guys have been so awesome. The diehards that love the podcast, you guys have been great. You've been vocal. Please continue. This is like our little fraternity, sorority, whatever you want to call it. We love you all, and
Bigfoot is real.
What was that? What's that sound? It's aliens and they're living